Like we already know this is gonna happen. So when the FBI come and be like, "You stop doing that," that's when we have our Rosa Parks moment, and we be like, "No, sir, I got to tell the truth." I get where you're gonna say whatever you have to say to get where you need to get. Right? That happens in business. That happens on dates. Right? We go out on dates. We act like we're Prince Charming. We're paying for the food. We're being respectful, oopening car
That's
doors.
not true.
But
I
what we
just
really
wear
want to
some really
do,
tight pants so they can see my package.
This is kind of what I was saying yesterday about the whole sellout conversation. Is I expect certain things from politicians. Period.
Correct, and that's what I was trying to say to you is that we don't know why Trump. You were arguing me about how come I'm not happy that Tulsi and RFK went to Trump, and that's because to me that's a sellout move. To me, Trump is using that to get those votes, and Tulsi and RFK again. This is my perception. They're using that to get a job in an administration.
But they've been open about getting the job. They've been kind of open about that, and
Yeah.
even Shanahan has been. That's who I was listening to when we were waiting for Kevin. I mean, they're upfront about, hey, we care about these topics, and we're gonna back the candidate who's gonna allow us to go in there and make a difference on these topics we care about. I don't understand why, if anything, that's anti-sellout, because they could have easily said, hey, we're going to back the DNC no matter what, even though they don't care about these topics that we care about. That would have been sellout, because that would have been, hey, I'm going to blindly back my party no matter what and fuck my people, right? But on the opposite side of that, what they're doing is saying, hey, I'm actually going to the other side, because they are actually saying they are going to allow me, whether it happens or not. We don't know. We can't. Yeah, you can make predictions, right? But taking the fact that the facts of what is being spoken word right now, that's the fact, the data they have to go on, right? So based on that, they're saying, hey, that other party, they're going to allow me to come in here and start hopefully putting in policy again. Let's say in RFK Jr.'s case, of stop poisoning our kids, right, with food and whatever the hell, right? So he's saying, hey, fuck you, my party. This is my strong belief, and I want to get this shit done, so I'm going to go back this dude. How is that a sellout? Wouldn't the opposite be the sellout? Because you're saying, I think, hey, you know what? Fuck my constituents. I'm going to back my party no matter what.
No, I think you can look at it several ways. Again, this is I don't like that we have to keep on saying this is my perception just because you fuckers are going to say like, where's your facts, when everything we're saying is opinion. So I hate that every time I talk I'm going to have to say this is my opinion.
But mine's not opinion. I'm telling you, the data we have is all we can only go off a spoken word, right? Because stuff hasn't happened yet. So if Trump is saying he's going to do something, that's all the data I have to go on. That's the only fact I have.
But that is not true, and this is what I'm trying to tell you. If I would go by what politicians say, I would get duped every fucking time. And that is
what else are you going to go by?
By my opinion, right? Like I can't. If Trump tells me he's gonna send. Let's use
build a wall.
Last time Trump said he was going to build a wall in Mexico, make Mexico pay for it, right? You believed him, and did he do it? No. So that is a fact that politicians promise shit they can't do or they won't do. So I am using facts for my opinion. The fact is Tulsi Gabbard and RFK went to Trump. Maybe in their hearts they believe I can do something good here. Maybe it happens. I don't trust them yet. Now, if Trump wins this election and RFK and Tulsi are in that administration or help get people in that administration that really care about those issues, I will give props to Trump for being that person. But until then, until politicians stop lying, just like Kamala and her economic plans, even her own party saying those things aren't going to pass. So you want me to believe Kamala?
Yeah,
just
but
because of what she says?
I can't. In defense of politicians, and I hate to do this, but even with us, right? What is it? The one thing that we always really want, right? Us here on this family. Yeah, other than duck pussy, what we want is we always talk about politicians and like politics in general, where these people don't like they do seem rather rigid in their ideologies, right? Where we're always saying like fuck parties, you should be doing what your constituents or what the people like stand on the issues, right? So we think that people should also be malleable. Like the perfect politician would be someone who can break with party lines or even change their mind once presented with like Juan says facts, or at least or like Beto wants enough. We can only go on data, right? So if they get enough data to say I'm going to change my mind, or if they just want to make a difference, like they legitimately want to make a difference, then we should be optimistic for that, or at least we
That's
have to
what I'm
be
saying.
open-minded to the concept. Yeah, Tulsi and RFK, they may be doing this to be self-serving, but then Juan, you said that if they get, Trump gets elected, he gets in office, and they join, and then they start bringing in people. Well, the people they bring in are probably also just going to be more self-serving, politician, slime balls, right? That are doing it only for that purpose too. Because let's not act like government is not something where it's basically entertainment, right? It's like the entertainment industry. Everybody's doing something to get ahead.
Well,
Some
and
of
that's
them,
kind of my point is who isn't self-serving in politics. So for us, why even have this fucking show? But if we really think as a whole that everybody's self-serving, then what the fuck are we doing here?
It's not just a self-serving thing. I think my issue is that you want me to like this move by Trump when I have been conditioned to be a cynic when politicians tell me they're going to do something. So you may not be a cynic right now because maybe you trust Trump's words, right? You saying that's the fact. The only fact you have is that Trump said it. That's not true. The other fact we have is that politicians lie. So I'm a cynic. If Trump actually does this, I will be the first to come on this show and say, "Holy shit, this dude does want to do something better for us." And he's using the right people that we used to like before, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, right? If Trump does it, I will eat my words. But right now, I'm a cynic because politicians lie to get ahead. Is it wrong to lie to get ahead? No, that's how they win. Do I have
That's what
to?
I'm saying.
Okay,
Is
but
who
what I'm
doesn't?
correct. But do I have to like it?
well, the
No.
problem is we know that people lie to get ahead. Our issue, or at least my issue, is that there has to come a point where the rubber meets the road, right? Like I
Or the
get if
rubber
you're
meets
gonna
the dick.
I get where you're gonna say whatever you have to say to get where you need to get, right? That happens in business. That happens on dates, right? We go out on dates. We act like we're Prince Charming. We're paying for the food. We're being respectful, opening car
That's
doors.
not true.
What
I
we
just
really
wear
want to
some
do,
really tight pants so they can see my package.
yeah, we want. But at the end of the day, we're not trying to like be their fairy tale romance guy. We're trying to skeet all over their face and then like tell them to call an Uber. Right? Like, let's be honest. We're everything we do is like, oh, I'm a perfect gentleman and I enjoy your conversation. Fuck no, we don't enjoy your conversation. We want you to just crack your legs open. We just understand there's formalities that you have to go through to get there. And the thing with politicians, I'm all for Trump. I'm all for Kamala. I'm all for even anybody that you can. I understand you're going to promise me the moon, Antarctica, and everything, but at least the people that if you make an effort to make some of this stuff come to fruition, that at least says something. And that's all we can go on is what, like Juan said, what did you actually accomplish versus what you promised? And far too often we get promises with no attempted delivery. This goes back to our conversation a week or two ago where we're talking about all these people during campaigns. Everybody's promising everything under the sun. There's going to be Kool-Aid in the water fountains from now on, everybody. There's going to be 46 flavors of Tang. And then but
That's
meanwhile,
where
Was
the
he
rubber
Tang or actual Tang?
both. I'd
will
love either
the
one.
rubber meet the tang?
Yeah, like pussy flavored Tang. Like whatever you want, man. It just add a little fish sauce
That
and
actually
umami to
sounds
the
gross.
Tang. But it's like, but at the same time, they're the CEO of Tang. You see what I'm saying? Where they could easily just, well, maybe not easily, but they could go and say, you know what? We're going to start making those 46 flavors today. I want everybody in the boardroom. We're going to start pushing this through. Start doing it. Instead, everybody's like, no, wait until I get what I want. And then I might see what I can do. And then nothing happens. Like, I mean, like, you look at Biden, and if we go back and if we pull up, and we ought to do a show on this, we ought to go back and pull up see if we can find a list of all the things that Biden promised during his campaign that he was going to do and fight for.
But he didn't know what he was talking about even back then, man.
Yeah, at least Biden has an excuse. He forgot.
Oh yeah, so his dementia spread to the internet. Like even his website forgot what he said.
He had dementia back then, but we were called, conspiracy theorists and whatnot. So just to make a quick point on Juan's, and not a point, but more of a question, like on Juan's point about the border wall, for example, with Mexico, right? So obviously Trump, he promised a wall, right? And he promised, that Mexico would pay for it, right? So
and he did start construction of said wall.
Well, hold on. If a politician promises something, right, like that, and he does make some effort to fulfill the Mexico paying for it part, like he did threats of tariffs and some other stuff, right? Like he tried to kind of strong arm Mexico a little bit. So he did make an effort. An effort was made. It didn't obviously come to fruition, right? But he still built the wall. So he fulfilled a part of the promise.
He didn't build the whole wall.
Well, but he started, right?
But he said it was going to be easily and inexpensively built, and he could do it really quick.
Again, he might have if he had.
But that's not. So here's my question though: is he still made efforts and fulfilled? It wasn't like he just flat out didn't even build the wall. Obviously, that was something people voted for him on and stuff like that, right?
I see where you're going with this, and I can answer it right away.
It's a partially fulfilled campaign promise.
Correct.
Not worth. Like, is it the same as not having done it at all?
Mind you, you have to factor in opposition. No, I mean you have to. I'm adding to Beto's question. You also have to factor in opposition, right? Like he did make those attempts. He was blocked by constant efforts by the opposing party. So,
but even then, he still started the project. He still built a good chunk of it. He was still in the process of building it because when Biden took over, there was a shit ton of material still left out there, right, on the job sites.
Yes.
So an effort was made.
Paid by money diverted from our military.
Sure, which I'm kind of okay with in a way because I'm against the industrial military complex in the first place, right?
But you can't be against the industrial. We'll go back to this in a little bit, but just make a point. You can't be against the industrial military complex and be okay with Trump, who just said he's going to build a space National Guard and an Iron Dome around America.
Well, yeah. Well, there's complexities to my stance on that. Obviously, I obviously feel like we need a military. I'm not stupid.
Yeah, but a Space Force National Guard and an Iron Dome.
Well, hold on. That's a different. Let's not get off topic.
Okay. Let me answer the question though.
And I'm not defending Trump, or I'm just simply asking a question because as you were talking about it, it just made me think about that.
I get it. So, but I already answered this yesterday in our chat. I said, "What is to keep Trump and his administration? Because it is going to be an administration, right? Tulsi Gabbard and RFK aren't the only ones selecting people. What is to keep Trump from making this promise to them, putting him on that board, saying, I made the attempt, but my other guy said no. Again, that's why.
Well, nothing, but he's the president.
Yes. But I can't get excited about this because one, I'm a cynic. I don't think it's going to happen. If it happens, great. But you can also say that Trump's going to make the effort and be taken out by his advisors. the higher people. No, Tulsi Gabbard and RFK, we can't take those people. And Trump's going to say, well, I tried. All right. So I'm a cynic, first of all. 2, it's too much of a coincidence that RFK was trying to go to this side and this side. This side finally took him, and he gets a job. To me, that's selling out. So why couldn't RFK stay there in the middle and go, hey, I couldn't do it this time, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep fighting for 4 years so that the next third-party candidate has a better chance.
So you're saying he kind of is, though, because he's staying on the ballot for a reason on certain states to try to get the 5%.
Oh, let me get. So that's another thing. So he's staying on the ballot in states where he's not a spoiler to Republicans.
Yes.
So he can take ballot votes from Democrats. But on the
Yes.
states where he's a spoiler for Republicans, he's leaving. But that's you're saying that's not a sellout move?
Well, yeah, because the Republicans are the ones telling him, hey, we're going to allow you to do X.
Correct.
That is the opposite of sellout.
But that's exactly what sellout is. Hey, come over here. We'll allow you to do this. So he sold out from his independent. What? Okay, let me ask you one question.
Yeah. Okay, maybe yes, technically but I guess my problem with the word as you're using it is you're using it in a negative connotation when he's obviously trying to do good.
Okay, let me ask you one thing.
So you're saying
if you go to RFK's website,
you're saying fuck them kids for the next 4 years because RFK shouldn't sell out. So fuck them kids is basically what you're saying.
But I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is no. Hold on.
Because you're saying he shouldn't
hold
join
on.
the administration. He should stay on the sidelines for 4 years.
Listen, RFK said this. All right, I can't quote it directly because I don't have it in front of me, but I sent it to the chat. RFK said, a president in one of the 2 major parties is basically beholden by lobbyists and can never make any changes.
Yeah.
And he just joined a president in one of the 2 major parties where he cannot make any changes because they're beholden by lobbyists. This is what I'm talking about when I say that RFK sold out. This is where I talk about where Tulsi Gabbard says things about Trump. RFK says things about both parties.
But they all do that.
I get it.
They all do that. So in your logic, we shouldn't even be on this podcast because what's the point?
The point is to point out the fact that politicians keep lying to you, keep making shit up. They don't care about you because they're just going to join a party where they can get more power.
But by your logic, you're never going to believe it. So here's Trump bringing in he's at least taking action.
I am going to believe it. I already told you. But I already told you I'm going to believe it.
You cannot even appreciate the fact that he's even bringing these people in, regardless of the reason. You cannot even appreciate that because of your cynicism.
Correct. And you cannot appreciate anything the left does because of your hate for the left. You said that yourself.
I do hate the left.
Okay, then what's the fucking difference?
Because
I'm a cynic to both sides.
I've told you the difference is I went on this whole rant yesterday. Did I not? With the left's like fucking just dirty ass out in the open tactics, man. And I just can't. I'm sorry. If the left is trying to my biggest beef with the left since back in probably 2020, I guess, is the constant trying to shut me the fuck up. And because to me that's one of the might be number one in my opinion. As far as my rights as an American citizen, speech is probably my number one.
Correct.
So for them to constantly be trying out in the open to fucking shut me the fuck up, that drives me fucking crazy. And it should you too. And the fact that they're out in the open about it and you're okay with it is kind of dumbfounding, man.
No, here's a dumbfounding part. That you hate the left so much that the fact that I do care about freedom of speech and I care that the left is trying to impede that. But when I say something about the right, it automatically makes me a leftist socialist who likes the left. That's what is dumbfounding to me. That I do think that the left trying to pressure Zuckerberg into monitoring speech, I do believe that's horrible. It goes against my First Amendment people's First
It's not
Amendment
just
rights.
horrible. That is the worst thing they could
Correct.
almost
Short
of fucking American genocide or some shit. That is probably the worst thing a politician could do.
It is. But here's my problem with the way you guys think about this shit. That you think that the left is trying to stifle your freedom of speech, but they're not. Yours. They're not doing yours. They're trying to monitor Facebook, right? Hold on. I know where I'm going with this. Here's the thing. If I say the right is also trying to tell Facebook what to do, I'm automatically a leftist, even though I'm against both parties telling Facebook what to do.
But you have no proof.
Yes, I do.
What is it?
So the GOP is constantly threatening Facebook and before Twitter with antitrust lawsuits to make them be able to share conservative views, to not mute conservative views. All right? That is the same thing. Why? Because you guys see Facebook as your freedom of speech. You don't see Facebook as an actual company. Facebook is a private company. Hold on. Don't shake your head no, because I know. Facebook.
Do you know about Section 203?
Can I finish talking? Facebook is its own public company, right? Now, you both have agreed with me before. We should allow companies to be racist. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Why should we allow companies to be racist? Because they're public and it's freedom of speech, right? So Facebook, as a private company, can do whatever the fuck it wants with its speech. Neither Democrats nor Republicans should be telling Facebook, a private company, what they should and should not allow on their platform. They are a private company. Plain and simple. No?
So, yes. And I don't think it's Section 203. I can't remember the name of the section, but there's certain protections allowed to companies like Facebook.
Correct.
That where people can post shit and they are not held liable.
Correct.
If you were to get rid of that, I would agree with you.
Okay.
But simply the fact.
But that shouldn't allow either party. That shouldn't allow either party to tell Facebook how they should run their operations. Facebook is still a private company.
You're correct. But I think that where the issue at least affects people personally is the direction of what they're trying to say.
Yes.
For example, the right, you were saying, has been trying to pressure companies like Facebook to allow people to post what they want. Correct. Which is at least, if in the very least, a defense of the overall public's ability to free speech.
Untrue.
Whereas
it's Section 230. Sorry, it was not 203.
Whereas the left has been trying to encourage these companies to stifle that, which means to act as an impediment to the public free speech.
And
right?
I knew,
so you're right. The companies
I knew you guys were going to bring this up. So,
well, hold on. Let me finish my thought. So it's not right for the government to influence a company to do either or. I mean, it's the companies, but from the public perspective, not the company, the consumer let me put it that way. Let me title them that. From the consumer perspective, it means that they're trying to take away or remove an avenue of you being able to express yourself or express your speech. Now, granted, again, the company has the right to make that decision either way. But if the company is already operating under the assumption of let people just say whatever the hell they want, and then the government moves in to influence that, to suppress certain types of speech, and then the other portion of the government, I think that's why we look at it this way, that the Republicans are at least, get a pass because what they're doing is they are reacting.
But that is untrue. That is untrue in a
Well,
fundamental
it would
perspective.
come down to who pressured what
hold on.
first, right?
No, hold on. Here's
Did-
why this is untrue. Here's why this is untrue. I knew you guys were going to bring this up, so I had this thought ready to go. Let's look at Facebook as just a company. All right? Republicans
With or without protections?
with protections.
Okay.
Facebook, the Republicans are telling Facebook they have to allow everybody to post what they want.
Yeah,
Right?
but that's but I was
Yes-
just saying
yes or
that's
no?
a reaction.
I know, but
But,
yes or no?
okay, so what came
Hold
first?
on,
Did they tell
just
them?
yes or no?
I don't know, but
No.
according to what you said, yes.
Okay. Republicans want to allow, and that's why they get this benefit of the doubt, free speech, right? Oh, they're trying to get free speech. But Republicans also tell private cake companies they don't have to serve whoever they want. They can
Sure.
pick and choose who goes into their business. So why is Facebook any different? Why can't Facebook choose?
Because
who
one is a
uses their product?
reaction. Because one is a reaction to a different type of cause. Can you? That's what I was asking. Who attempted to pressure Facebook first? Because if it's Facebook that has made the decision on its own, with no left wing pressure, to suppress certain types of speech,
Facebook did,
right?
and Facebook made the decision.
So you're
to
telling me
suppress
that the left
GOP speech.
that they had that the left's insistence, because we now know based on these letters and other in whistleblowers, and I think we've all known for a while, we've heard these things from people who used to work at these companies and so forth, that there was government pressure to suppress certain types of speech or even to monitor Americans, right? Like to give to use it as a monitoring service, to spy essentially on people. If Facebook had made these decisions on its own, and then the right came in and said that, then I'm in full agreement with you.
But
However,
that is what happened.
Well, no,
from
because
COVID,
you can't-
aside
hold on.
from COVID, that is what happened. The Republicans' complaint is that Facebook suppresses right-wing talk.
yeah,
Which
but
was
see,
true,
but
obviously.
you're
Yeah,
missing
it
you're
is.
missing my point. Did Facebook decide that on its own, or was it being pressured prior to that?
Okay. No, I see what your point is. And this is what I'll answer to that point. Again, you guys often misinterpret what I'm trying to say just because I disagree fundamentally with some points.
I
don't
actually
think-
agree with you.
I don't think Democrats or Republicans should be able to tell Facebook what to do. So if Republicans or Democrats went and pressured Facebook to take down COVID posts or right-wing posts or Russia collusion posts or Hunter Biden posts, I disagree with it. Same the other way. If Republicans are telling Facebook, you must post Republican posts, you must post Hunter Biden, I disagree with that too.
I 100,000% agree with you.
I agree with you. But
If you can remove the Section 230 protections from those companies.
No, it doesn't matter what
They shouldn't be. No, because you can't be limiting speech and then still want to be protected from shit.
I mean,
As a
okay,
company
hold
or
on.
not.
I won't disagree about removing 230. I won't disagree with that. All I'm saying is that the two aren't mutual.
well, I don't
right?
disagree
Whether
with you either.
230
I'm
is-
just asking which one is reactionary.
Whether 230 is
Because
there or
if
not,
somebody's
the
if
government
somebody
shouldn't be
comes in
interfering.
and says, if somebody comes in and says you have to suppress this speech, and then the other side comes in and says no, you that when they start suppressing it because they were influenced, and the other side says, whoa, what are you doing? Well, we started suppressing the speech because we were influenced or pressured to do so. I don't think one is a reaction
I
to
think
the other.
Kevin's point is the right might not be there if the left hadn't initiated. So I
Yeah,
think
but
what
in
Kevin's
this
point
case-
is, hold on real quick.
Yeah,
I think what Kevin's point is, hey, they're basically going, hey, left, get the fuck back out here. You can't be doing that shit. Is I think what Kevin's point is.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
If-
but at this point, we don't really know who or what pressured Facebook to stop or to start not sending out what's it called?
well, I mean, we
suppressors.
have
Like, we don't know if
We
anybody
have the claim by
pressured Facebook
Zuckerberg, Zuckerberg's letter.
no, hold on. No, we know about COVID. What I'm saying though is before COVID,
Well, it's not just COVID. It was the Hunter. It was the Russian. The Russian.
Yes. I already mentioned all that. All that, the Russian collusion, the Hunter laptop, COVID. We know about all that. But this started way before, right? This started before where
wouldn't that be evidence that it possibly had already started before?
Correct.
If they did it.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they did it at all, at least gives more credence to the idea that they probably were doing it prior to that, right? Because it's like domestic abuse. If somebody shows up with a black eye, it's probably not the first time that person has abused someone, right?
Yes.
Or theft.
Or that
you just happen to get caught now.
No.
Yeah.
I agree with it all. Neither side should be suppressing speech. Now,
or freeing or forcing the unsuppression of speech.
Yes, neither side should be doing that.
I agree. With that. We all agree on that. My only caveat is don't also expect to be protected against lawsuits.
I agree with that part. I agree with don't expect it. But what I don't agree with is in order for me to agree with non-suppression, you have to get rid of 230. 230 is there. Should it be there? That's a different topic. But whether it's there or not, the government should not be involved in this shit. And this is what we're talking about. So this goes back to last week when Beto was talking about, fact-checking media. It gets to this kind of point, right? Who fact-checks the media was my problem. Now, in this case, with Facebook...
who fact-checks the fact-checkers?
Correct, because even if it's a third party, right? In this case with Facebook, they do have their people who fact-check.
It's the same committee that's going to fact-check the gun purchases.
Hold on. It's you have this you have a committee, right? But in this case, it wasn't just Biden and Harris administration that was pressuring Facebook. The whole Hunter Biden thing came from the FBI. You know what I'm saying? And that was before Hunter.
That's that was government.
I know, but that was before Biden Harris. That was the FBI under Trump. So it doesn't matter who's in power. Somebody is going to influence.
But was that a director that was appointed by Trump, or just an acting director from a previous administration?
I don't know, but what I'm saying though is that even if you put somebody in charge and you say don't listen to them, what would you do if you were one of those media fact checkers and the FBI came and told you to shut the fuck up? I would shut the fuck up.
Well, that's because you're a coward.
I am. When it comes to the FBI, yeah.
I'm not.
If Biden comes over, he's like, you need to stop talking about this. I tell him to go fuck himself. Right? But the FBI comes over with guns and fucking jackets and vests and shit. I'm going to be like, you got it. See, I'm good.
And this is how it goes back to this is how we know Kamala had a change towards blackness. Because true black people, we don't fear the FBI no more. Because we've been oppressed so long by the authoritative fascist police state, right? Of white America for so long. That stuff doesn't impact us no more. Like, go ahead and send the FBI. What you gonna do? Lock me up some more? Shit, y'all already locking us up for walking while black. Kamala was doing it. She was locking black folks up like it was going out of town, like it was the 1930s again.
For somebody that keeps telling me that I keep defending the left, you sure fucking reach to attack the left.
No, what are you talking about?
The FBI suppressing media. That's why Kamala isn't black.
What does that got to do with the left? I'm saying that black people is not like we already know this is gonna happen. So when the FBI come and be like, you stop doing that, that's when we have our Rosa Parks moment, and we be like, no sir, I got to tell the truth. I got to check my facts, sir. And then either way, we're gonna be in our house in the middle of the night. And they're gonna have a no-knock warrant, and they're gonna blast our ass with a flashbang, and then he's reaching for his gun, but it's really my glasses. But who cares? They're gonna fill me with 36 different rounds before and then be like, "Oops, we made a mistake. This was a tragic turn of events. He shouldn't have reached, though." Remember,
what Kevin is saying is he'd rather die on his feet
than
live on his knees doing a Kamala Harris.
I'll say this too, because it's always a fucking right that comes out when there's a somebody accused of sexual assault, and they say, how come they didn't come out way before? In this case, you got Mark Zuckerberg coming out in 2024 on shit that happened, 2020, 2022, 2020, I think.
2020,
Right. Why
2019.
now? Why now? Is it because in 2022 Facebook started losing subscribers, and now he needs that GOP base back?
Probably.
Come on.
Well, I'm.
Do you?
There's a lot of speculation that he's trying to get ahead of something.
Yeah. Do you fault him?
No,
No.
I never said.
But no,
much.
I'm not saying you fault. I'm just saying, do you fault him? No. But it makes you think, like, why now?
Well, I'll tell you why. What I suspect is that I suspect that the same specter, the thing that's been impacting, that they're trying their damnedest not to talk about with the left, is this situation basically in Israel and Palestine, because you're seeing more and more people that are traditionally left breaking with, basically their party, essentially, where the party is still very pro-Israel, right? On the surface, the high level of the party is very pro-Israel, and we're going to support our Jewish friends in the country of Israel in this situation. Whereas the bottom base, and especially the youth, are very pro-Palestine right now, right? And we're seeing a lot of stuff. These divisions are showing up on social medias all over the place. And I think that, and this is just my speculation, I think that they're being cracked down on by the left, or by the people in power on the left, to stifle this, because it's spreading. Because I've seen people, seen where these posts go, where people 4 or 5 years ago would have been very pro-Israel, and somehow they are true flip-floppers, where now they're like, yeah, what's going on? Israel's going too far, because of course now Israel's the bad guy, right? Like, you live long enough to become the villain in your own story. That's what they say about heroes. And I think that we've seen this turn, and they're trying to keep that from spreading, because that spread creates a further division. Just like how I think somebody was pointing out that, when we had the RNC, the party convention a couple of weeks ago, you saw all these protests out front, and they were, they kept cutting back and forth to the protests. But with the DNC, it's like that cutting to those protests outside was minimal, and when they did, it was like they were interviewing people. We're out here looking at the protests.
Oh no!
It's like it's at 6:30 in the morning or something.
When they showed
going on the streets, right?
When they showed the protests, from what I saw, it would be like, these protests happen, 3 miles from the DNC.
Yeah,
like, and this fight broke out 5 miles from the convention. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And it looked like a launch party for Halo outside of a GameStop, right? Like 20 fat people standing around with pickets, and then they would talk to me, and it's like in the middle of the day. It wasn't the thousands of people that actually were there with their, Palestinian signs or pro-Palestine signs or whatever.
Legit question though, how does the party of open borders close up the convention and not let people in? They fucking fence the fuck out of it. They have all the security.
That's a security situation.
Oh, but the border's not.
Well, okay. So in defense of this, though, you have to be able. This isn't. It's not just security. It's about being able to have your to be able to have your private, because the convention is a private event, right? Like, it is like renting a hall for an event, and you don't want it disrupted.
It's their own people, though. They're keeping their own people out.
No, yeah, but you'd kick your drunk uncle out of your daughter's quinceañera if he was in there.
Yeah, but I'm not the one saying open the border.
Yeah, but you're all for titties. But if your drunk uncle comes and starts filling everybody's titties up, you're going to throw him out.
I'm not for filling up random titties, like, without consent, Kevin. Jesus.
Here's a couple of things. Is Republicans keep saying that there's crime flowing over the border and crime, but statistically, immigrants are less likely to commit crimes than citizens. We had this
Yes.
argument before too, and because they were arguing.
Well, what do
about
you mean statistically, like percentage?
The-
Do you like what's the actual data? Is it percentage of immigrants to immigrants or percentage of total population? Because if it's total population, well, no shit. There's a lot more citizens than there are immigrants.
Not only that, but they're undocumented. So how can you quantify those numbers if you don't have an exact number of who's illegal and who's not?
I just saw a couple days ago where some Venezuelan gangs are fucking taking over like parts of what is it, Aurora, Colorado, or some shit. Have you seen that?
Well, look at Sweden. Sweden's having a whole issue that they're trying to keep under wraps with their immigrants, and that's not even our country. But they were very pro everybody come to Sweden. Now they're like, fuck. They're having grenade fights over there. Like the gang situation has gotten
okay,
to the point that
in that okay, we'll play that game. What's the statistic that says immigrants are more likely to commit that crime?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not the one making the argument though.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
we're
but
not
you're-
I'm not making that
You
argument.
guys are saying that we need to stop border crossings because of crime.
No potential.
I didn't say that.
You said
And I'm
I
not
didn't
just
say
saying.
that.
I'm not
you
just saying
said they're
just because of
protecting the
crime.
DNC
I'm
from
saying-
its own people, but
I'm
they're
saying
not
it-
protecting the border from those people. Like,
Okay.
Yeah,
what do
but
you
it's
protect?
that's just one of many. That's one of many border issues
Well,
because it's not just about crime. It's also about being able to quantify the people that work here. It's also about the economy. It's also about housing situation. It's also about the like.
That's a different. That's
it's
a
also
different
about
thing,
no,
though.
but it is.
But
It's
since
also
you're
about
kind of
hygiene.
asking, this is something I've been wondering for a long time, just as a wannabe libertarian, is at what point do you close the border though? Because if China suddenly decided to invade silently and we knew it was happening and they're sending all these people over, at what point do you say like, you know what? I'm all for open borders as a libertarian, but we really ought to fucking close this shit because before you know it, we're going to be a communist China. Like, at what point do you logically say, yeah, maybe I'm a fucking idiot for wanting an open border altogether?
I think
I don't know. I'm not one of those people.
I think the problem is that when people say open borders, I don't know if people are imagining that we're like just like have no borders and anybody can just walk across and just be here or not.
That is what,
versus-
but that is what they
no,
want though,
versus-
because we
versus
shouldn't be detaining anybody crossing over, is what they're saying.
versus something like a turnstile at your job, right? Like where or like a store where you have.
But they have a
guard who's trying to
problem.
keep people
Even
from-
the thing is that they even have a problem with the people literally crossing the river. They even have an issue with us detaining those people, though. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
because
At what
they're talking about
point?
detaining. I think that if we had a system where people could just come over but be vetted through, that's all anybody's asking for. Same thing with your house, right?
But could you imagine
you have
the
you have
resources that would take?
well, we spend. I mean, what do we spend our money on now?
Welfare for the same people crossing over?
I mean,
Well, and
I
that's
think
what I'm trying to say, though. That's what I'm trying to say when Kevin was talking about how it creates a massive problem. So I understand my pure belief is not attainable, right? That we should just let people come over, vetted them, and just let them come over and work. If we didn't have all the social services for them that we're spending money on, if people had to come over and work to make a living, that would be great for the economy. The problem is they don't. So I know that my whole
they do.
opinion on having an open border.
But
is
even
useless
yeah,
right
but
now.
then you're going to be
They
bitching
do
about
come
home
over- they do
prices
come
going
over
up.
and work. They just don't. Sometimes they don't make the amount because people pay them under the table. If we had an option where people could actually come and legitimately work,
You
and
can't.
without
The
having
thing
to
is,
jump
it's not
through
attainable to
tax
just let
ideas.
everybody in because supply and demand, dude. That's
But
very
no,
fucking
that's
simple.
no, it's not that simple, Beto. Because the
So
reason
you're telling me if
Hold
I
on,
suddenly
Kevin, can you
added
fucker?
10 million people to the workforce, all of a sudden, magically,
That's the
homes are going to
thing.
appear?
That's the thing. You guys, you pretend that if we open the borders and take away all benefits, that still 10 million people are going to come across. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's if you would open borders and take away all benefits, and you had to work for a living, you wouldn't have
Yeah.
millions of people coming across.
You
And
had
this,
like
and
Japan.
it's been proven to happen when we had basically open borders back in the day, man. When people were coming across to Ellis Island, they needed to have like a fucking vaccination card and $20 in their pocket to get in. That's it.
Yes.
And what
That's
happened?
what I'm saying.
The greatest
when
fucking
I say-
generation, apparently.
I agree with one. It's not having just like don't have nobody down on the border, just people just come across whenever and do whatever. It's you have an avenue. You have a wall there for security, right? Like just to at least check ID on your way in. It's like a nightclub. Like you got your driver's license. Are you 21? Are you able to come in? Sure. Have a good time. If you don't have a license, if you're not 21, then you can't come in. Sorry. And go get those things and then come back. It's like when I was a
essentially,
bouncer.
it's more like not just a club, but a club with a 2-drink minimum. Because you have to be like, are you going to buy drinks? No, get the fuck out. Same thing. Are you going to work? No, get the fuck out.
And that's it. And then that way, and then you just happen to catch people. Now, people coming into the club also have like, 2 guns on their hips and like a knife in their back pocket or whatever. And they're like coming in going, yeah, I'm looking to just come on over and have some fun. Nah, you look sketchy. Get your fucking ass out of here. Or you have a...
Now you're fucking profiling. Fucking racist.
No, but I'm saying...
You see? You guys
like,
step all over your own feet all the fucking time.
And then all of a sudden, there's 10 Asians coming in, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on here?
Look, but no, but did you notice
my
what
point
I said?
is, at some point, you gotta fucking close up shop.
Sure. You gotta have some...
you know what? The nightclub is a perfect fucking analogy. If you have a 1,000 square foot nightclub, and you're telling me you want to let in 20,000 people, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yes. You know why? Because I'm going to throw your analogy back in your face. And people, we've been to places, right? When we were young, you don't go to a club and it's packed wall to wall where you can't even fucking move. And it just smells like ass.
It's against fire code.
No, there are a lot of clubs that violated fire code.
That's where Beto Young is in the whole code thing. Because that is one of the problems with America, and Beto knows this very well because he has a construction business, is that you have codes to prevent you from building certain buildings too high in certain areas. So, you have more people, build taller buildings. But you won't get that because Democrats won't fucking allow it.
Well, not only that, but think about it. When he's acting as if people are just going to pour in with no conscience, no thought, no process. They have agency. If you come in, right, it's like what Juan was talking about. Your nightclub analogy. You got 10,000 people trying to get into a nightclub that's only 1,000 square feet. We can see at the door we can't fit. I'm not going in. There's times I get to a place, I look at the line, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm not waiting in that line. I'm going to go somewhere else, right? Same thing, same principle.
Yeah, but then for every one Kevin, you got 10 others that will go in.
No, you're going to get people that will try and squeeze in, sure, but then there's going to be people inside that are like, it's too crowded.
Look at the fucking, hey, you ever seen a video of Asian people, I don't know, maybe Chinese, I have no idea, getting into the fucking subway?
You're being racist.
No, but I'm talking about when they show them getting into the subway. Have you ever seen that shit?
But that's
they're like shoving, the fucking workers are shoving people
but they're
in
not
the fucking door.
there.
And you're telling me that there's going to be people saying,
because they're,
no.
because
because what happens in that situation is if you put requirements on them that they have to be a contributing member of society, first off, it's probably going to cut down to like 10% of the people that are coming over that are actually going to try. Out of those 10%, you're going to have people that just don't fucking make it, right? So once you start getting those requirements in and people from other countries are like, oh, we got to go to the U.S., and then people are like, nah, man, there's no work over there anymore, and housing's too expensive because their economy is too good.
Maybe, right? Let's say I concede that point.
And that's why I say this is a libertarian utopia, right? It's not going to happen.
No, but but even then, let's say I concede that point. Let's say I concede that point, and people are like, I'm not going to get benefits. I ain't going. What's still, to my earlier point, what's to stop a Russia or a China from funding? Let's say China, they have the 1 million man army. What's to stop them from sending 500,000 people over here?
They got to wait in line.
But they're going to get in because of your
But-
open border policy.
That's fine.
Hold on, but isn't that one of the things that Republicans are promising in this campaign, that they're going to stop China from buying real estate and all that
No,
kind of
but
shit? So it's already
I
happening.
get it. No, but I'm saying, like, at what point on an open border policy do you say, you know, maybe not so much?
But what I'm trying to say is, even with a non-open border policy, have you ever been to San Francisco?
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Oh,
I
so
think
that's
you're
what I'm
totally
saying.
missing my point.
No, I understand your point that you get an influx of people coming in, and you're like, "Whoa, what's happening here? This seems
Well,
kind of
what's to stop China from literally invading us through our own policy? And then those people, Second Amendment, hold on. Those people, Second Amendment, start loading up with guns
Well, that's why
you
you
know-
don't give them AR-15s.
and organizing and all this other. I'm just saying, you suddenly get 500,000 Chinese people that are militarily trained. They're gonna kick
Why
your
would
fucking
you-
ass from within.
Why would you presume that they would stay loyal to China once they got here and lived the good life? See, you're discounting the fact that America's so great that we would just convert them. Hell, those people are dying to get over here anyway to escape from the communist country. They're coming over in shipping containers, right? So they'll get here,
I'm
and
just
at first they
saying,
might be like,
In,
"Yes, I'm
this
just fine."
in this theoretical situation,
I understand Beto's point.
I'm just saying,
But-
at what point, if at any, or do you just say, "Hey, we had a good run"?
I understand Beto's point, and Beto's trying to get you with a gotcha, right? At some point, you have to say it's enough. You do, but
No,
we
because
don't
I
know.
believe
We don't
I
know what
believe
the
that
hypothetical point is, or if we're ever going to reach it. And so that's why it becomes a gotcha question, because
it's
there's
not though. Because even if they send over 100 million people, right? There's still 400 million people and more coming, right, in this country who are going to be benefiting and enjoying life in this country. Do you think they're going to suddenly want the communists to take over after they went through all the things that they had to be here, to get here, to have the job? It's just the same.
Because they've
it's
been
the same-
brainwashed, just like Juan's been brainwashed to be cynical.
No,
You're
so
not
they're
going to
gonna-
change his mind.
they're not
just
gonna-
like you're
they're
not
not
going to
gonna
change
have
those
the- they're not
people's
gonna have
minds.
the advantage of the
that's
number.
not true. See, that's not true, because Beto keeps saying that I can change my mind when it happens.
I can't change my mind when it's not Trump.
When no, it's
I'm
even
just,
with Trump. I
I'm
said
just
that at the
messing with
beginning,
you,
like,
but
I'll we can even end it here, bring it back to full circle. Is I do have a way to change my cynicism once there's a reason to change that cynicism. If Trump truly comes into office, right, and makes me eat my fucking words, then I have to change, right? But I can't keep fighting
But there's
Trump-
already action, was my point earlier. There's already actions where he could have just been like, "Hey, fuck you, RFK." There's already action that should lead you to believe, like, maybe.
lead me.
But
to
it
believe,
also leads me to believe that
maybe.
maybe he just wants to win.
Yes, it leads you
Again,
in both.
data available.
Correct, data available.
Yeah, data is he's
politicians
running
do
for
what they
president.
need
He
to
wants to
win.
win.
Current
You
data
just,
available.
you just said at the beginning that politicians do what they need to win.
Yes.
You said it yourself.
The data. Here's the data. The data is Trump is running
So
for president.
there's data
Yeah,
for that. That's
but
And the data is
all
he
I have
wants
is
to
data,
win.
man.
They're
I'm
like,
sorry.
correct.
All I have
even
is
your data, and even
all I
your
have-
data says that he could have done this for that reason.
all I have, but all I have to go on is the data, the most current. I should say the most current data.
yeah, and the most current
That's all I
data is
have
he
to
wants
go
to
on
win the
because
election.
It's no different than when science comes out and says coffee will kill you. Oh wait, no, coffee won't kill you. Oh, coffee will kill you. Never mind, coffee won't kill you. And you're like, well, they said coffee's not going to kill me today, so I guess I'll keep taking it. Or let's say you, Juan, you have let's say high blood pressure. You go to the doctor, right? And the doctor prescribes you some medication you've never taken before. You don't know if it's going to fucking work.
I don't.
You take the pill. You take the pill because you take the data that's available to you, and oh fuck, man, 10 years from now you're like, hey, it turns out this pill is gonna turn me into a woman. But what'd you do? You went off of the most current data available to you that was being, and not only that, but the doctor's the one telling you verbally, hey, this is good for you. Take it, and you like a good little bitch, you take
Nope.
it.
That is a good analogy, because here's what happens when you go to the doctor. First off, I have no reason to believe that my doctor is going to mislead me.
Sure, you do,
Oh,
because
no,
science
hold
has
on.
been wrong a lot of
No,
fucking
I
times.
know science has been wrong. I know science has been wrong.
So if you
but
went
I have
off
no,
of all
hold
the
on,
data,
man. Can I answer the question or not?
well,
I have.
be honest. Don't.
I am.
Okay.
Hold on. I
Yeah,
have
but
no
it's
reason.
but
I have
science has
no
also
reason.
been right much of the time, and you
Yes.
go with what's right until
I
it's
have
wrong,
no
right?
reason.
Politicians have delivered.
Oh, my dear Lord. I have no reason to believe that my doctor will mislead me. However, if my doctor does mislead me, I become a cynic to doctors. That's why people are anti-vax. Because
Dude,
at some
doctors have
point,
misled, and don't tell me you've never heard of a doctor misleading anybody.
correct. Why don't I get surgery with military doctors? Because they suck.
But it's not just military doctors.
But
though.
I rejected that when they said let's operate on your ankle. I said no.
So by your logic, you should be cynical of all science.
No,
I'm
because
critical of
some
what I've been led
doctors
to
are
believe.
good. Because some doctors are good. It's your experience, your personal experience. By the same token, well, then I mean that's like saying, well, you can't ever understand what something is, you know, or you have to assume that everything that happens to somebody else will happen to you, and it's not.
You
And that
do.
doesn't
That's
happen.
what makes us human, dude.
No, you were just telling me
You-
how some
You
guy
have
stole
to
stuff
learn from
your-
other people's mistakes.
But Beto,
You can, but you don't always act
Beto's
on
using
them.
logic that supports Trump, and that's okay because Beto supports Trump. So
I'm just-
he's not
I
seeing.
do
Beto's
support
seeing the
Trump.
logic. Beto's seeing the logic of Trump. The latest I have from Trump is Trump hired Tulsi Gabbard and RFK to change
Simple.
his administration. Right? That is okay. That is according to facts. Beto can't believe that. Does he know that's going to happen? No, but
No.
he thinks that could happen, and he thinks that's where it is. But the same is the opposite in the opposite direction is the same thing. I can assume that he hired Tulsi and RFK to boost his chances to win the nomination because I also have been led to believe that politicians will do and say anything to win.
But
So
you're going on older.
Yeah, it's also
you're going on
it's
older
also
data.
true
Why?
that
What did Trump do this election? Because he has lied. Trump has said lies.
My point,
So the point is that Trump still lies. So the most current thing is Trump lies, and he just told you he's going to put in them as administration.
What did he lie on recently?
I can pull up the last debate. He also lied about crime going up, and that's not true.
Which
it
crime?
is going up in some areas.
Yeah.
Which
Cherry
crime?
picking.
Hey, I've said before,
Violent crime.
Any statistic can be skewed however you want it by how you phrase it. Right?
Violent crime has gone up like something like 200-300% in San Antonio.
Correct.
So Trump's
but
right.
Not nationally.
But he didn't say
Did he
nationally.
say nationally?
Yes. He
and
said
what type of crime?
Violent crime. Again, is he right?
And compared to what?
Compared to his administration.
Well, nationally, as
ahead,
in
look it up.
several cities or every city equally?
Again, all I'm saying is that you guys are, or not you guys, Beto, it's okay. I don't understand why it's not okay for me to have an opinion based on my experiences, but it's okay for Beto to have an opinion based on his, like I'm saying it's okay for Beto to believe that Trump isn't going to do,
well, Beto's saying,
but when I say I don't believe Trump's going to do this, I'm wrong.
Beto's saying he has data, right? And he's saying he's going with the most recent available data, which is Trump wants to do something. They say they want to do something. Trump has taken them on to do something.
And announced their co-chairs. And there's a lot of action. But actual action, not just rhetoric.
But there's also current available data. There's also current available data that Trump is running in an election and he's lost some points in the past couple of weeks, and he wants to win the election because he doesn't want to lose the election. Maybe. We know that I have a different opinion about that. I've already mentioned it in the chat before where I think Trump is really actually wants to lose this election. I think after someone took a shot from him and it killed whatever hope and spirit, I think he's being more, because he does seem to be a lot calmer than he was before. And I don't know if, and it's not his MO to be like, man, I'm going to lose. I'm just like depressed about it. He's the kind of guy that before would be saying he's winning everywhere, but in reality, right?
Yeah, but he wants votes. According to your
no, but
logic, he wants
before
votes, so he
before
changed.
Trump would never acknowledge or never he could be on
Yeah,
a
but he
on a
wants to
ship that's-
win.
No, but
You
what I'm saying is,
literally just said that.
yeah, but I don't see
So
the
he
same spirit.
he can bring in Tulsi and RFK and all this because he wants to win, but he can't change his MO to win.
No, I'm
That's
not saying
basically what
that.
you're
What
saying.
I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that I don't really think that he wants to win. I think he's doing things to give the appearance that he's just trying, but I don't think his heart's in it. It's kind of like running a race, right? Like he's going to finish the race, but I don't think that he truly wants to win. He's just doing things that he thinks makes it appear like he's still trying because he has too much pride, still enough, not too much, just enough pride to not just drop out altogether and bow out and take the hit and look like a loser, right? But I think that he really doesn't want to win as badly. Previous years, Trump could be on a ship that's sinking in the ocean on fire, and he'd be like, "What? No, everything's great. We got the best boat. It's going to last forever. It's going to get to the shore. It's the strongest boat. It's American made. Best boat ever." Now he's kind of like, no, I don't want to get off the boat. But the boat's on fire. Yeah, it's just a little fire. It's whatever. He doesn't see. I honestly think that he really doesn't. He's not fighting the way that he was before.
I think the other thing is, Beto's looking at it as he's using facts, right? But I'm not denying the facts. Neither is Beto. Neither of us are denying the facts. Where we differ is what we think is going to happen after those facts. I'm not denying Trump hired Tulsi and RFK. What I'm a cynic on is that they're actually going to do something in his administration to change in the way that Tulsi Gabbard and RFK think.
But it kind
That's
of brings
all I'm
me
denying.
to my.
What you're saying, and you don't know if they are going to do that. Your opinion is because they're hired, this could happen.
Well, it brings me to my question that you never answered about the border wall is action towards something. If I complete a task 20, 30, 40, 50%, is it the same as not completing it at all?
So, yeah. So, what I will say is this. Back in 2016, I was with
politician,
Trump.
answer the question.
I am. I'm going to answer it. Back in 2016, I was with Trump. I liked Trump. I liked what he was saying. I've told you this many times. I was
You've told
cheering
me that
for
many times after the fact.
I would say it at work. Like I like what Trump was saying. I would tell my kids, Sean, he can tell you that when I would see Trump talking about how he was going to make other countries finally pay their fair share, I was like, yeah, finally. But then slowly, those things started to not happen, right?
Slowly.
So
they didn't happen all at once, right away.
So what do you want from me? Like now Trump has shown me that he might not follow through on all this shit. Now
I'm asking.
Yes, no, that counts.
Is a partial completion to you as good as no completion at all?
I don't. What exactly?
Well,
I don't know what you're asking.
Yeah, no.
Back in the day when Trump
earlier you said, well, one, you're saying that you're cynical about what he's saying he's going to do, even though he's already completed certain actions to show you that he is moving in that direction by simply welcoming them in, naming them
again,
co-chairs.
Again, your opinion. Again, this is opinion. The fact is he welcomed them. Your opinion, or the fact is that he hired them for his team, right? Your opinion is that he welcomed them to change the administration. That's an opinion. That has not happened. My opinion, my fact is he hired them to be in his team. My opinion is I don't think it'll change because I think it was done to win votes. They're both opinions.
I think you're again missing the point. Is I'm going to ask it one more time. I think Juan would make a great politician. Is a partially completed task, in your opinion, as bad as not even starting it at all?
No.
Basically what you're saying is, yeah, he hired these people, but nah. Or yeah, he said he's going to build a wall, but he only built 50% of it, so he didn't get it done. It's basically that's your logic.
Beto, if you're getting a blowjob, do you prefer a full completion or just a partial completion?
If you're asking me if I'd rather, no, the question would be, would you rather have a partial blowjob or no blowjob at all? I'd rather have a partial one
Here's where your logic is false, right? Is because hold on the wall, on the border wall, that's an
because I
actual
can finish
hold on.
myself off. Wait,
Concrete.
real quick, and now I actually have spank bank material that's current. Like she just got off, and then I can finish myself off.
All teeth?
That's better than just imagining she was even there at all.
But what if it's all teeth? What if you find out she's a guy?
Well, then she wouldn't. In my opinion, she wouldn't be a she because I don't believe in that stuff.
See, you went into it because you got promised a blowjob, and then you get into the room, and all of a sudden, it's
I'm just saying, there's two different things you're arguing here, right? In the Trump wall thing, that is actually something you see him doing, right? There is no alternative.
Just like the hiring.
Hold on. There's no ulterior motive in building a wall, is there? He's trying to keep illegals out. There's no, I'm going to build this wall, but then I'm going to put a hotel on it. No,
it's political as well because he's saying, "Hey, look, I'm building this wall so I can get reelected for my second term."
Can I finish real quick?
Well,
you're saying that there's no ulterior motive. Like you can't bait and switch a wall, right? You can't say I'm going to build a wall and then bait and switch and go, haha, I actually was going to build a bunch of hotels there. Like that's not what it is. But on this one, you can consider it a bait and switch, and that's where I mistrust government.
But he's already hired them. That's what I'm saying. Is
but
he said he was going to finish a wall.
But I don't know his reasoning for hiring them right now because I'm a cynic. When he was going to build a wall, I knew his reason, and I knew that if he started building it, he couldn't just go. Oh, this is like saying this.
He could.
I'm
going to stop at any time.
But he can't switch it on you. Like he can't go, haha. Now they're actually hotels.
Well, no, it's like he can hire these guys, and yeah, sure. At the once he gets elected, he can be like, "I'm going to fire you." But the point is, he started.
Correct.
So I have no reason to believe.
But before he started the wall,
I would agree with you if it was all rhetoric, and he would have said, "Hey, I'm gonna hire them for my transition team, but I'm not doing that yet."
Okay,
that would be okay. Yeah, you're right. But the fact that he already took that action.
So what you're saying is Trump hiring them makes you believe they will have an impact on his administration.
Because he took action. So if he had said, I'm going to.
Okay, so he hired them. So you are for sure that these guys are going to impact his administration.
I'm not, but what I'm saying, the data and the action.
Yeah, but him having action is not a material thing. Nothing has changed yet.
Going back to the border wall. If he had said on this first term, "Hey, I'm going to build a border wall," right? And he hadn't started the border wall at all, or let's say on this election cycle, he's saying, "I'm going to finish the border wall," right? Do you right now have a reason to believe he will finish it? Yes. You know why? Because he started it.
No, I don't.
Hold on. Versus if he hadn't started it at all the last time, you'd be like, but he never even started it.
That's not true. So last time, people were making fun of him for this wall thing, right? So people were cynics. He's not going to build it. He's not going to make Mexico pay for it. Then he started it. He started the wall, right? So it turned those people around. Oh, he is going to build a wall, right? But he only built a little bit. He didn't build up most of the wall. So he goes into this term and he says, I'm going to build a wall. Do I believe him? Yeah, because I'm no longer a cynic on that part because he actually started it. However,
exactly. Yes.
No. But do I believe he's going to finish? No. But Trump hasn't done anything, Beto. He didn't change the administration last time. He said he was going to drain this.
No. He just changed his administration by hiring them on as co-chairs.
No, again, you are not looking at it the same way, Beto. You're saying last time he promised you
started action, dude.
No. Last time he said he was going to build a wall and he started. This time he said he's going to change his administration. He hasn't.
And he already started.
No. Tell me who in his administration he's hired in the actual administration that RFK and Tulsi Gabbard hired.
RFK and Tulsi Gabbard.
Have one. There has been no action on the actual concrete portion, just like the wall. When he said before, I'm going to build a wall. Okay.
So you're saying the transition team is not part of an administration?
Correct. It's a transition team to hire his administration. That's what it is. That's what RFK and Tulsi said. We have been placed on the transition team to hire his administration.
Okay.
And that's why I said Trump can convince me if, when he hires his administration, there are people like Tulsi Gabbard.
Look,
or
you already
RFK
put Kevin to
in
sleep.
that administration. That's all I'm saying.
You put Kevin to
How do
sleep.
you, that's a good question. How do you hire somebody for a position you don't have yet?
Well, because you got to be ready, man. You gotta be able to hit the ground running. when you-
No. You got from fucking November to January to figure that shit out. Don't get that like one
you're
month.
saying-
one extra month don't make a difference, bro. You're hiring people. That's like me. It sounds like a heist movie.
You know how long
Right,
it
like,
takes to vet
I'm
people,
putting
though?
together.
It's-
I'm putting
it's
together
all-
a team.
And this is why I think it's all fucking It's all optics. That's all it is.
I'm putting together a team that we may or may not actually, but we're going to try and steal the Hope Diamond. And then all of a sudden it's like, fuck that. Never mind.
It's
not
like,
gonna
let me
work.
ask you something, Beto. Let me ask you something. If you and Kevin were up for a multi-million-dollar contract, right? And you heard that these contractors liked Indian Americans, and then you went and hired an Indian American to be your CFO, don't you think that would be like, okay, well, Beto doesn't really care about him, but he hired him because it might get him the contract.
Wait, are you talking about Native
And
Americans?
if it does,
or like,
cool, because you have to do what you need to do to get that multi-million-dollar contract, right? There's nothing wrong with it, but don't piss on my shoes and tell me it's raining. Like, it seems too much coincidence that Trump is losing in the polls. RFK tries to get deals with both sides, and the Democrats say no, then Trump hires them because he needs the votes. And
Is he
that's my
losing?
opinion. My opinion is that he's hiring because he needs the vote. It's optics. My opinion cannot be wrong, just like your opinion isn't wrong. I'm not denying the facts, again, that they got hired. I'm denying why they got hired. That's all I'm saying. Just the same way that it's your opinion that they got hired to actually do something. It's my opinion they got hired for optics. That's it. It's
I'm not saying it's. That's the thing, though, is I'm not saying it's not opinion. This is the last I'll say on this, because I think we've gone too long on it. And then you can say whatever else you want, but
you've gone too long.
I'm not saying that it's not opinion of what's gonna happen. All I'm saying is the fact that there's been action already, actual action, not just rhetoric and speak, like actual action. That's the data I have. So when there's a partially complete task, I don't have a viable reason to expect that task to not be completed because it's already actually been started. That's all I'm saying.
And then all I'll say is that if that's what you're going to do, then this show's going to be boring as fuck. If you're just going to come in and go, hey, Trump hired Tulsi and RFK, so he's taking part in something. He's completed an action. And we all go, yeah.
Kamala,
and then we don't insert our opinion of what that action leads to. This show will kind of suck. Your opinion is that action is going to lead to, hopefully, Trump changing and hiring people in his administration. My opinion is I'm a cynic. I don't believe that's going to happen. And that's why we have shows.
I mean, I'll give the same thing, because if Kamala starts dancing in a Bollywood style, like flash mob, then she can. Then I'll agree that she's an Indian American, and like support that the Indian Americans that can go out and help build Beto's fence or whatever it is that he's hiring for his company. Because
what about this? What about this? So maybe I'll end it with a question we can talk about next time. Trump's action is that he hired Tulsi and RFK for his administration, right? And that says he's taking action in the right direction. What does it say to the fact that the DNC welcomed Republicans at their DNC convention? Is that not action too? Because I thought it was pandering. I think it's Republicans just trying to make a name for themselves by going against the grain.
I don't know. I don't know enough about that. The little bit I do know about
Republicans being there,
they actually got kicked out. They actually got kicked. The ones I know of, they got kicked out.
No, Republicans actually gave speeches at the DNC.
Oh, those are okay. Yeah.
Okay, but that's action. Same action as Trump is saying. They're being uniters on that side. The Democrats.
Well,
welcome
I
the news.
mean, Trump had Hulk Hogan.
What I'm saying is, if you consider Trump's Tulsi and RFK move action, should you not consider Kamala's move of bringing in Republicans to her DNC action as well to unite?
Well, no,
Were
because
they
she's
real?
still saying she wants to tax my corporation at 28.5%. She's still saying
Okay,
she wants to.
no. See, but that's you caring
No,
about.
she actually said that.
No. What I'm saying is that you caring about how it affects you. What I'm saying is the action of her bringing Republicans, does that not show unity across America?
Oh, I don't care about unity.
So that's that's where the division is in. You can't say Kamala's doing something good by welcoming the Republicans, but you have to say Trump is doing something good by welcoming in these independents. Like it should go both ways. If I criticize the Republicans going into the DNC as trying to make a name for themselves by going against Trump because that's very popular in some circles right now. So I'm accusing both of pandering. But you're only accusing one side of doing good action.
JD Vance was against Trump until he was for him.
Has Kamala hired any of them?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
But
So it's not the same.
But it is the same. You're welcome. It's still action. They were there. It's still action. Whether it's the same level yet, no. But it's still action.
So if you were going to apply for a job at a company, just them having you in the lobby is the same as them hiring you.
But it's the same with Trump. Just because you told me I'm going to help you select somebody doesn't mean I'm actually going to. What?
No, Beto's got you on that one. Because you're like,
fine, Beto's got me, but it was still action. So I don't understand why Beto doesn't.
That is not action. That's more on the rhetoric side, though. You're just saying like, yeah, I welcome you guys. Yeah, sure. Come on over here. Hey, come on into my lobby, guys. Just kind of hang out here.
No, see,
and feel free to interact.
Here's where you're.
Well, maybe what we need is we need to determine what is there. Let me ask this question to you both.
I have receipts for Beto. All right,
but let me ask you.
All I'm asking for is receipts.
I have receipts for Beto. When the Teamsters president went to the GOP, Beto was happy about that. But he didn't endorse the Republican Party. But Beto was happy about that. But when the UAW guy went to the DNC, Beto was not happy about that. How can you be for unions? Again, Beto was happy about rhetoric because nobody endorsed that. He didn't endorse anybody.
When did I say I was happy, though?
You said, oh, shit, there's a Teamsters
That's
guy.
all I said.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there was no endorsement, but you're like, yeah, there he is.
But I wasn't cheering. I was just being like, oh, shit.
Yeah, like it's something big. But there was nothing there. There was no endorsement.
But it is big. The thing is, it is surprising to see a union president at an RNC. That is surprising.
Yeah, and it's surprising to see Republicans at the DNC.
So how am I surprised by UAW at a DNC? How is that a shocking factor?
It's not a shocking factor, but you didn't like it.
So why would I comment on it and be like, oh, shit?
But you didn't comment on Republicans being there. Again, you didn't go when the Republicans came to speak at the DNC, you didn't go, oh, shit. Again, that's a bias.
Yeah, that's happened before.
Well, the question should
be
not.
No, I guess it's not biased.
The question.
How is that a shock factor?
The question.
Well, okay, what about when 200 Republicans signed a letter saying that they're against Trump?
I've never seen that. I've never seen it.
Again,
I didn't even know about that till you said it right now.
You're dismissing my opinion because you don't believe.
I'm not dismissing your opinion. My only question was, does that hold no weight? Does action hold no weight in your eyes? That was my only question. I don't see what.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then, but we can ask that. We can ask that in reverse. Does action always carry weight?
I would think so. Yeah.
Does it? Because
I would think so. Well, rhetoric carries little weight,
but
when compared to action.
But then, can action be a form of rhetoric? Because you can pretend to do
speech.
You can pretend to do
spoken word. Spoken. Let me be more literal. Spoken word carries less weight than action.
In that
But
case,
in my
in that
opinion.
case, in that
In my
case,
opinion.
in that
But
case,
can it actually be
Hollywood-
fake?
In that case, Hollywood is genuinely diverse. They're not pandering to minorities. Because action of them putting black people in movies is genuine. They took action. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, then I better never hear you about how they're putting black people in there just for pandering. When next time you say
I've never-
I'm going to tell you, nope, this
Hey,
is genuine
go
diversity.
search the chat, see if I've ever even used the word pandering.
No, because
Me
you don't even know
personally.
what that means.
Kevin is the one that always uses the word pandering.
Oh,
Where?
My
you don't
problem
have-
with Hollywood, huh?
But I'm hold on, because
what's your problem with
how do you
Hollywood
know?
and
I'm
putting
just,
black people in movies?
am I using the word pandering, or am I just, is that just another action? It could just be words.
I'm just saying, like Beto has complained before about Hollywood putting black people or replacing white people with black people, but that's just an
Oh
action of
yeah,
how
Beto,
diverse
you
they are.
did do that with the one of the Disney movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just action
Well,
of
how come
how diverse they
Haley
are.
Berry just, maybe they just thought Haley
But
Berry was the best.
I didn't
actress
say it
for
was
the job.
pandering to anybody.
Maybe you thought Haley.
Why did you think they do it? Why were you so mad about it?
What do you mean?
Why
Like
do
the
you
Little
have
Mermaid.
why do you have
What's
a
wrong with the
problem?
Black Little
Why do you
Mermaid?
have a problem with commercials depicting
'Cause
interracial couples all the time?
Because it's in the title, Snow White.
No,
No,
I'm
but
not
the
talking
Black
about
Little
Snow White.
Mermaid. It wasn't the
Little
White
Mermaid?
Mermaid.
The last one was Snow White that I was like, how are they
Yeah, but
gonna
you-
put in a brown person?
But again,
Hold
we're
on,
talking
she's
about
not brown.
the most recent thing we've talked about, because Beto likes recency, was how they put interracial couples in commercials all the time. What's wrong with it?
No, we thought that was funny. I didn't say that was wrong at all.
Beto, come
I
on.
thought that was funny. We talked about it on the first episode. Go back and listen.
You're the one that
I
always
think it's
No.
interesting.
And as a matter of fact, I'm not
why is
even the one that
gay?
brought it up. I think it was Kevin. You or Kevin. And I just thought it was funny.
Well, what about
We all
gays?
thought
How
it was
come there's
funny.
always
Nobody was
gays?
complaining.
Is that a sign that Ozempic like favors gay people?
Well, I don't know, man. Apparently, I can't find stuff funny anymore because that means I'm saying that they're pandering now.
Well, I
How is
mean,
it pandering just by me finding?
because you have complained about black people being in movies before. You've said this many times, man, that you have a problem with Hollywood being so fucking diversifying just to diversify. You've said that.
Okay,
So
okay.
again, but they're not diversifying.
What's wrong
just
with
to
that though?
Well, hold on, let me tell you that they're not doing it just to diversify, man. They're doing it because they genuinely care about black people.
Well, that's opinion.
Exactly. The action of hiring a black guy, in your opinion, is that they're not doing it genuinely. Same thing with Trump. Him hiring both those people, my opinion is he didn't do it genuinely. Action, opinion. Same fucking thing.
But I never made the argument about pandering though.
That's what pandering is. That you're doing it for a group of people. Trump is doing it for those voters. Hollywood is doing it for fucking woke liberals.
You can see Beto think in his brains like he's been backed into a corner, and you can see his face. He's basically pulling a Trump. He's doing a Trump right now, where he's trying to think of an exit strategy.
He's doing the same. He's doing the same shit I did when he asked about the DNC actually.
Oh, hey, one of my houses is on fire.
He's doing the same shit I did when he caught me on the corner with the DNC bullshit.
See, this is why I'm an anarchist, because I can just go either way. I don't give a shit.
No, that's not true, Kevin, because I go either way and you give me shit about it.
No, I go against you because
I told you guys y'all were gay.
Remember,
what Kevin is saying is he'd rather die on his feet
than live
on his knees doing a Kamala Harris.
She was locking black folks up like it was going out of town, like it was the 1930s again.